Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Built Like This podcast. I'm your host Maxine. We're on episode 306. Hi, hello break, and I'm back. It was Easter weekend, and I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. I know some people didn't have a long weekend like I did, but I certainly did, and it was a cool time. I had to experience a little intimate moment with somebody. He knows who he is. But I think what I learned about myself, because, with everything that you go through in life, I feel like the importance is understanding who you are. It's always about know thyself, right? Know who you are and understand that. So for me, I learned that I think I'm someone who, okay, let me give some context. I feel like growing up, for me, some things just wasn't a big deal as far as like showing affection or like grand gestures. So whether that be for birthdays, whether that be for, anything really. I know that sounds so sad, but like the only like really grand gesture that really happened in my childhood was when I was going off to college and my sister surprisingly surprised me with a surprise going away party. Me and a friend of mine who was starting college at the same time as me. That was just one time. Like, I don't frequently have moments that I can recall of me being given a grand gesture as a way to demonstrate love. Like, I think for me, love has always been this expression of, okay, you say you love that person, that's how you know you love that person. Like that's it. That's the only way to show you love someone, by telling them you love them. Even though sometimes it may not feel like love because, dang, how come you didn't do this for me? How come you didn't do that for me? Anyway, I think for me, because I want to do things different, like I don't want to always live in this reality of, oh, well, because it hasn't been done in my childhood and my growing up pains, whatever, then that's why I'm not doing it now. Like, you know how people always like to use that excuse, oh, well, because my dad didn't love me, I don't know how to love you. Like, no, that's just such a silly thing to say, because you are an adult now. You know how to make choices now. But I say all this to say that I am aware of how I think and how maybe fragmented it is, and I want to do better. Like, I want the people around me to not guess that I love them, right? Because there are people who I love, like, my family, my partner, like my friends. I want them to feel and see the love that I have for them, rather it just being me telling them. Like, there's so many ways you could show love to someone, and I guess I haven't been showing that effectively as I realize. And that was just a moment of realization and concern. And instead of letting that get me down too much, because I was a little upset about it just internally, like, dang, what's wrong with me? Just the whole feeling bad about yourself, violent thing. But then I kind of quickly snap out of it, and I took this as an opportunity to do better. Like, okay, I received feedback, and I can and will do better. Here's ways I could do better. Here's ways, like, I think it's a good opportunity for me to be creative and show my creativity that I do have, but show it in this sense of love. And I think also for me, I have a way of just thinking temporary. It's hard for me to feel like I'm planted in somebody or in a situation. So because I think like this, okay, then why would I go all out for you? Because I don't know where this is going to go. Like, that's how my mind works. And I do that as a way to protect my heart and my mind from getting too attached. So yeah, that's something that I'm working on, obviously, and I'm aware of now. So I am actively working on, and I don't want to, because we don't know where the future lies or what holds for us, and I don't think it's healthy or wise to live life in this, well, it's gonna go away soon, I might as well not, like, what? No, like, fully embrace, fully, and like, put your feet in it, soak it up, because you don't know what could happen next regardless, but at least you lived in this moment fully, at least you loved fully. And I think moving forward, I plan to love fully. It's not like I haven't been loving fully, it's just I haven't been really allowing my mind to accept that, oh no, this is really real fully. I hope I'm making sense to somebody, and I hope I'm not offending anybody. But it's just, whenever you go through different experiences, you learn more about yourself. At least you should be, because you should be open to always growing. So that's something that I experienced this weekend. How fun. I didn't go on a trip. I didn't have a feast. And I started a fast. I started a few things. I started an intermittent fast because I want to shed some pounds. It's more than just that. I think I want to just be mindful of my eating habits. Prior to me starting this fast, I have been binging on certain snacks, okay? And I feel kind of embarrassed to say what snack it is, because I'm 33 years old. What the fuck why am I eating this snack at my grown ass age? But I have been binging this snack for weeks upon weeks. And I bought the 20-pack version of this snack from HEB. I know the price of it by heart because I've been purchasing it nonstop. I put it in the back of my cabinet in my kitchen, and I know where it is, right? I know where it is. I go into it, I grab the snack, and I just shove my face in this snack. Y'all don't understand. Like, I am grateful I'm not, like, quote unquote a fat girl, and I'm sorry I know that sounds fat phobic, but what I mean by saying that is I would be fat as fuck if I wasn't like, do you hear me? I would be so fat as fuck. I would be so just out of control. I will be just rolling over. I will be out of control. And praise be to God, I'm not. Because I'm also someone, like, it's funny because I do like binge eating, but I haven't been doing that lately, so that's kudos to me. But though I like binge eating, and though I've been doing that for quite some time now, I also enjoy activity. I also enjoy walking, running, cycling, fun. I like being active. I love moving my body. So that has definitely come to my favor because I would be rolling around. That's how big I would be. Okay? If you really pay attention to my eating habits, and I do my best to disguise it. That's one of the secrets about me. I'm telling you on the pod. But one of the secrets about I don't share with anybody. I really do. I just put my snacks away and I eat it. And I think what it means for me is it makes me feel comforted. I always feel on edge. I always feel like something's about to happen. I always feel like doom is near. That's literally my mindset all the time. So I know it's my anxiety, and I know it's just rippling at me. So what I do to cope with that is binge. I binge eat. And that has been my go-to for quite some time. So anyway, last couple of days I started this fast that I've done previously, like sporadically. Intermittent fasting, I've done this many times before, but this time I am seeing it as a launching pad to just make better lifestyle changes. So my window currently for eating is 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Not like like hour after hour. No, but between 12 and 8 p.m., that is my time to eat. And I've been doing well. I've been doing well so far. I'm really proud of myself. But what I'm going to do is just take it day by day, being in the moment, in the day, and not think so ahead or rush. I think also with me, I have been obsessing over food. Like prior to me starting this fast and being really honest with myself about my eating habits, I have been obsessing over, okay, what am I going to eat next? Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. Ooh, what do I eat now? Ooh, I can't wait to leave to grab this meal from Can we talk about Popeyes for a second? My God, today. Hold on. Ooh, I added that little sound effect. Okay. Oh, I don't know if it came across well, but anyway, y'all heard it. Popeyes have been whipping my butt. And I'm at the point where I'm afraid to even say the word Popeyes anymore. I feel like there's power, not even I feel like there is power in words. But the I feel like part comes in when the power that it holds on me. I become so impulsive and just out of control that I be like, you know what, F it, I'm gonna go. Well, so what? Let me just have one cheat day. But the thing with me is I don't think I could handle a cheat day. I don't know if I trust myself, you guys. I really don't know. Oh my gosh, am I talking myself out of this intermittent fast? I'm hoping I'm not. Anyway, I'm just saying this out loud to maybe hold myself accountable. This is permission for you all to hold me accountable as well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to beat myself up about it, but I am ashamed. I am. And when I'm ashamed about things, I don't really share it with anyone really. I just kind of realize it, and then I'll talk about the solution and I'll share that with people. But as far as the shame that I feel, no, it's there. But yeah, Popeye, I don't want to talk about it because I'm gonna get so obsessed about it and I don't want to tempt myself. But yeah, I have decided to get on this fast, and it's more than just like, wanting to shed some pounds and look more toned. It's about changing my mindset when it comes to food, changing my mindset when it comes to eating, changing my mindset when it comes to coping with anything, and understand that, I just need to be in the moment. I don't need to always think about the next thing or always try to like figure something out. I could just like rest, like just sit still, stand still, and all of that. So it's funny because a couple of days ago, I was watching a movie called Poor Things, and I heard about it through a podcast, and I'm like, well, let me check it out. So it's symbolic, I would say. It's a symbolic movie. It's a movie about this woman it starts off with this woman falling to her death on purpose. She is choosing to end her life. And as she falls and as she lands in the water, there's this like neurosurgeon guy who's standing at the shore. He sees her body. He takes her body. She's kind of alive, but kind of not. He takes her into his castle and performs surgery on her brain. He replaces her brain with the brain of her unborn child because she was with child at the time of her fall. So he literally swaps brains. The baby's dead. The baby's long gone. But actually, no, the baby was like in an incubator. So I don't know if they could actually try to make that baby alive. Nonetheless, they gave the brain of the baby to this grown woman. So she's now alive, yet she is retarded. That's literally the term that they use. And retarded is a technical term. I know we want to be all sensitive about it, but it is a technical term. It's not to be rude. It's you're retarded. She has a brain of a 4-year-old, 3-year-old of a baby. So she's learning new words. She's walking very odd and awkwardly like a baby would. But that's more acceptable for a baby because developmentally, that is what the baby would do. So anyway, she's like walking around like a baby. She's like, door, I want door. Like just like a fucking retard, right? So she's doing all that. She learns about like life and liberty, but she can't leave the castle. This guy, the neurosurgeon, she is introduced to him as her god. And he's not like, he's like a father figure. So he's not this creepy guy, which is strange. But yeah, he's like this guiding post for her. She wants to live life. She wants to go outside and look at the world and touch grass, literally, and be at her own will. He was definitely reluctant at first, but eventually he lets her go. She discovers sex. And you know what I've heard about babies is babies learn at a young age what masturbation is. Yes. I know it's awkward for us to talk about, but that is literally a part of your anatomy. You learn about your body, and then if you are curious enough, which everyone is, at some point, you may have started it, like you may have touched yourself when you was a baby. Anyway, so she is a baby in her mind, and she's laying on her bed, and she eventually starts touching herself, and she feels this orgasmic pleasure. And from there, she's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, I want to do this all the time. And she becomes very addicted to sexual pleasure, so much so that she is willingly becoming a girl. Well, I don't know the technical term for it back then, but she's basically a prostitute, but she lives in the house. So she's a whore. That's the term for she's a whore. No, but she lives in the house. She's exploring herself. Like, it's just very wild. It's just basically a pure story of a woman who decides to really explore life and realize a few things about life. She ends up returning home and realize that she loves to be in the lab room just like her god, just like her father. So she finds her way back home. Anyway, it was a weird story. I ended up pausing. Okay, I brought this. I'm like, why did I bring this up? I ended up pausing the movie because I was like, okay, this is, I don't know if I'm getting into it. I don't know if I'm understanding. The picture was initially black and white, and then it got into color. Prior to it getting into color, I was scrolling through my phone, and I was thinking about just like crawfish, because I remember seeing crawfish at the front of HEB, which is a grocery store in Texas. And for all my non-Texas listeners, shout out, hey y'all. Anyway, and I was thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, I want to make some seafood. I want some seafood. Right? So I'm telling you guys this because I would be in the middle of doing something, right? I will be in the middle of watching a whole movie, but let me go on my phone, let me scroll through the Yelp, because I usually go through Yelp and look at the reviews. Ooh, there's a seafood shop nearby, a seafood market that's more authentic. Oh, if I just pause this movie and go there real quick, that's like 8 minutes away from me, I will be able to, like, but the point is, ultimately, I get these impulses, and I get these excitable moments that I will create in my mind of food. It's the food that will really make my decisions. It's the food that will make me feel like, oh, I have to eat this. I have, like, I can't say no to myself. It must happen. It must be. So I ended up pausing the movie, heading to the seafood market that I literally just found 5 minutes ago in the span of 7 minutes. Like, am I okay? Is everything all right? So it ended up becoming a point of issue, not because of what I was saying, but because of my failed attempt of communicating that to Freckles Bay, and it just became a moment, and I just felt just like, oh fuck, I should have just said. I don't know, but I think ultimately my impulses when it comes to food, it just makes no sense. And it's hard to articulate that in a way that makes sense. In this fast, I'm taking it day by day. I'm trying not to overwhelm myself by thinking it in advance or anything like that. It's a 30-day launch, so that's how I'm seeing it as, so that I can launch myself into lifestyle changes. And look, I'm not gonna be hard on myself if and when, because let's be open, let's be honest, that there will be a moment in which maybe I'll get a bite of a cake because somebody's celebrating their birthday at work, and hey, let's, maybe, or maybe I will be more disciplined to say, no, I'm good. No, thank you. Just happy birthday, right? Just last night, I was out with my girlfriends, and all we had was some drinks. Not even some drinks. I just had one drink. Everyone had one drink. No, I think a friend of mine had two. But nonetheless, I only had one drink. And I was prepared to spend more, not be the odd one out without having food, but no one else had food on the table. And it just worked out. I'm like, okay, perfect. And, my goal was to not eat after 8. So at that point, it was still before 8. It was like around 7 at that time. So yeah. Yeah, I just, I think we don't talk enough about food when it comes to people who are quote unquote not fat, right? So someone like me who's not of this stereotypical size of what someone who would be if they struggle with food, then the conversation about food and habits with it seems to not even be a thought. Like, oh, girl, you're fine. And it's so, it becomes dismissive. It becomes dismissive, like, oh, you have a great body, or it's like, you don't know what's going on in my mind, though. Like, I am obsessing over this meal. And I've always been like this. I remember being younger, I would say to my sister, I would say, oh, I'm going to wait until I eat. I'm going to wait until I finish my homework, and then I'm going to eat for the first time today. And she's like, that's not good. And I'm like, why? In my head, I was thinking it as, oh, I'm eating as a reward to myself. I'm eating to reward myself for finishing my homework. That's good, right? Like, I don't know where does this come from? I'm literally thinking out loud right now, so please don't mind me or mind me since you're listening. Thank you for listening. But I really was trying to grasp my mind around why I do that. Because I just always been, everyone could tell you, like, growing up, I was just like, give me something right now. Anyway, but that's where I'm at. That was my weekend. How fun. Anyway, and then I'm thinking about, okay, what are some healthier drink options? I'm not necessarily giving up drinking. It's just I don't drink until I'm like socially until I'm in social gatherings. So there are healthier options per se. I know tequila is a healthier option. It's less carbs or less calories, one of those. So that's something that I will be more mindful of too. So yeah, it's just a launching pad. Wish me well if you are on this journey as well, whatever that looks like for you. If you are intermittent fasting but your timing is different, right? Maybe your window to eat is from 9 to 5, like literally those hours. I just figure 8 will be a good time to stop and 12 will be a good time to start, because I notice for me, whenever I have breakfast, sometimes I will feel super sluggish or tired and heavy, and then I will have to poop, which pooping is good, but sometimes it could interfere with just the schedule that I have for myself every day. Being at work, it just could be just a little annoying. So and I don't like to feel sluggish until it's like midday, or until it's later on. So I figure 12 and 8 is a good time. So that's where I'm at. Wish me well. I hope you are doing well. Let's get into these topics. Okay, so let's talk about Shout out to Joe Budden. Shout out to Joe fucking Budden. I am a Joe Avenger. You can't tell me shit about Joe, okay? One thing about it, two things for sure. No, I'm saying this because, okay, so I am a Patreonee, meaning I am a member of his Patreon, and I watch all of the videos that they post. Obviously, I get my money's worth, and it's pretty entertaining. It just, I love it. I love it. It just helps kind of get me through the day. It's entertaining. It's all of that. One of their previous Patreon episodes, they had 2 guests on. These 2 guests are female hosts of their podcast called Good Moms, Bad Choices. And they sure did made a bad choice, okay? Pun intended. Hold on. Yeah, that was slow. Another one. Okay, yeah. Whew, I worked on that all night, you guys. Anyway, so they were on the show. Their podcast is about them being mothers while still being fully aware of their sexual needs, sexual desires, and just being very open in their sexuality. They also host sexual parties, which is called play parties. And in these parties, you have people, all kinds of people come together after doing a screening. A screening is just them answering a few questions on their questionnaire, and depending on how they answer the questions, they will then be either admitted or denied. So at these parties, people are visibly engaging in sexual pleasure, whatever that looks like, whether it's full-on intercourse or some cunnilingus. Sorry, I don't want to look it up right now because I'm at work, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Give me some head. I was getting some head, so that is, people call it also like swinger. Well, it depends on who's there, because it could be swingers too. But nonetheless, it's a sex party. People are enjoying themselves, and it's a consensual space. One of them shared at least, she shared that she has had public sex at this play party, at their play parties, and how, that's just something that she enjoys, yada, yada, yada. And while they were on the pod, they were being very sexual, very, what's the word? They would advance themselves upon the male hosts of the show, including Imani. Shout out to Imani. He's a great addition to the show. He'll come on here and there pretty consistently lately. And he has a great contribution to the show. So I really like his input. He's pretty funny and low key, like he doesn't take things too personal. He's a great addition, so shout out to him. Anyway, he was the one, maybe I should shout him out some more, because he is responsible for inviting them. He introduced them to, well, not to Joe, because Joe was actually a guest co-host on their show 2 years ago. So they all knew each other, but this is their first time on Joe Budden's podcast, and that's because of Imani's convincing of them to come on, something like that. Anyway, the controversy is, while they were, right before they started recording, they're taking pictures, promo pictures, and they're at the balcony of their home, of where they film their content home, I guess. And one of the girls, the one who is now a redhead, she is saying on a later clip that she released with her co-host on a Patreon clip, but of course someone clipped it and put it all on Instagram or social media in general. And she talks about how she was told, oh, you about to get fucked. Don't you get fucked now? Whatever, something like that. And she's saying this as a way to say she was caught off guard. She didn't know, like, she didn't feel comfortable that he said that. And was just very uncomfortable that Joe allegedly said that. Now, here's the thing. Even if he said that, because I want to be very clear here, even if he said that, so what? Let me go ahead and play this.
Recording. And that, they line up on the skyline. And they were like, Erica, come over here and take a picture. And so I went over there, and I didn't really know where to get in between any of them. They were all kind of lined up. And I was like, I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just squeeze in here. And then out of nowhere, Joe says, you better watch out. You'll get f***ed.
So you hear that? So she is recounting this alleged moment, talking about how she is about to take a picture and she's trying to squeeze in, trying to find her position. And apparently, allegedly, Joe Budden said to her, you better watch out. You're going to get fucked. Okay.
I said, oh, okay. Well, I was so caught off guard. I just said, Joe, stop. Like, don't do that. Come on. And he was just like, and everyone around just like didn't say anything. No one said it was just like, this happens all the time and this is normal and no one's going to say anything.
Okay. Now, what my issue is, she is ridiculous and she's weaponizing her womanhood or her damsel in distress image that she could easily put on because she's a woman. She's weaponizing it and purposely painting Joe to be seen as this creep, to be seen as someone who is this sexual predator, when historically he has been battling with this image, whether it was his fault or not, but he has been given this type of rhetoric for so long. And lately, it's been cap. Like, a lot of these women who will come out, a lot, not to say it was so many, but I'm just saying there was one other case before her, and I don't want to get into her. But there are so many examples of women who would suddenly call victim, who will cry out victim, who will cry out, oh, I was sexualized, I was objectified. When, ma'am, throughout this whole episode, she was very sexually suggestive. She was very advancing towards the male co-host. They all sat back. They all was chill. And she was very out there. They never sexualized her or objectified her. And even in moments when it kind of felt like, ooh, okay, there's a little something going on here. Ooh, they're being a little flirty. And it wasn't even nothing. But the point is, they were giving the same energy she gave. You know what I mean? Like, it's not this, oh, I could only be sexually suggestive towards you and you just take it. So I'm going to play a next clip here. This is a clip of Joe Budden on an episode of their podcast, Good Moms, Bad Choices, and how Joe Budden was actually put in an uncomfortable position, but because he's a man, he obviously can't make these videos afterwards. I was made to feel uncomfortable. Like, they were like, man, shut the fuck up, So he was put in an uncomfortable position by her, actually. It's literally so funny. It's so funny. So let me go ahead and play this clip and we'll talk about it.
All for entertainment.
I don't mean it.
I don't mean it either. I just said it.
Oh my God.
She really doesn't know what my pussy looks like.
I don't. I've never seen it.
Not
like that. Not because I've like eaten it. Okay. No. I shouldn't start.
See, now everyone's gonna think we fucked, and everyone already thinks we fucked.
Everybody thinks
and
we
we
fucked.
don't. We don't.
We don't.
You fucked.
No, we
don't.
And that's on.
One night you wanted to, and one of you had to say, "Oh no, we're friends."
No,
we've heavily made out on a drunken night. That's because we love each other so much. But it had nothing.
Oh, great. Who's the better kisser?
We can't. We're kissing each other. Both pretty good kissers.
Oh, y'all scared. Right, forget it then. There's always a better kisser out there too. Somebody has to be the better kisser.
Well, we're equal. We're equally great.
I won't be divisive.
Do you want to find out? We went to go take a picture.
Okay, so this is the same woman who claims that he made her feel uncomfortable by saying, "Oh, you gonna get fucked." Yet on their podcast just 2 years ago, there's a longer clip of it, but you just heard a little snippet of her suggesting heavily, not even suggesting, asking heavily, like going on and on saying, "Oh, you want to find out? You want to kiss? You want to kiss?" Like very, very much being annoying with it, like trying her best to be just annoying. You know how there's those guys out there? I remember being in college, there was always a guy who was like, "Man, I can't get my hug. Can I get my hug?" And then you finally give him a hug, and it's like, "God damn, why are you hard right now?" No, that's why I don't want to hug you, because I already knew. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is the point. The point is you have women like her who wants to cry out victim, yet in that same episode and in a previous episode on their podcast, she was the one doing the most. She was the one trying to be sexually advancing and all of that. And what I like about the times that we're in, there is something that I like about the times that we're in. What I like about it is people are recognizing the cap. I'm saying that more now, but people are recognizing the cap of everything. The people are recognizing, like, no, she's actually not credible. She's actually full of shit. And the people who are calling this out are not the typical men who do this, right? You know, sometimes when men do it, people are like, "Oh, that's why black men hate black women." No, there are women coming forward and calling a spade a spade. So I just want to give a shout out to Joe Budden. I am with you. I am a Joe Venger. I'm an Israelite. And if you know, you know. But I'm glad that he is getting the proper representation. I'm glad that there are more people, especially women, coming forward to support him. I think there needs to be more of that for these black men who are getting villainized conveniently. It's not okay. And what the issue was these women, they were upset that the podcast was going to be released at a later date. They wanted to be released at a particular date, which was in alignment with their show and their upcoming tours and yada yada yada. So they were upset about that, and I guess they thought to themselves, "Hey, let's release this salacious comment and this salacious clip about Joe Budden so that we could get some exposure and that we could get some clout and more people could sign on to be our Patreon members." But it didn't work. They ended up having to cancel a show that they had as a part of their tour in Houston. And what's funny is Joe Budden, his girlfriend lives in Houston. So the conspiracy is Joe Budden's girlfriend had something to do with that. And even while Joe Budden was a guest on their podcast, he was in a relationship with his girlfriend, his current girlfriend, Sade. Her name is Sade. And they ended up asking him, "Are you in a relationship?" Because they were just so appalled that, oh my gosh, a man is denying us from sexual activity. How dare he? So they ended up asking him, "Are you in a monogamous relationship? Do you have a girl?" And he ended up saying yes. And I think that threw them off. Yet even after that, they still were being sexually suggestive. So anyway, I say all this to say, don't believe all women. if I didn't say anything else, don't believe all women. Don't believe anything altogether just because of this label or this demo, this anything. Take things with the presented evidence and do your own research and figure out what the true answer is. So there we have it. Okay, let's see what's up next on the docket. Okay, there are these conjoined twins who recently actually they didn't get married recently. They were married. Let me just break it down. There are these conjoined twins, and for those who may not know, conjoined twins are twins who share the same body, but they have two separate heads on their neck and two different minds, two different noses, two different set of eyes, two different mouths, two different ears. Literally, they have two whole heads. Each twin has their own full set of hair while they share the same torso. Each twin has their own arm, and these are female twins, so each of them has their own this is wild. I'm trying not to be rude here. Anyway, and they share the same each twin has their own arm, and each twin has their own leg. Yes, that's okay. That's what I'm saying. Imagine if one of them was a trans. How would that work? Like, no, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this lifestyle. Ma'am, we'll do the same thing. Anyway, so they have been living full lives as conjoined twins. They are actually 5th grade teachers. And I want to know what fucking school district decided to hire these freaks. My God said, I'm sorry, it's a joke. But my God, today, at some point, we got to say, you know what? Just stay at home. Just stay at home. Work at the carnival. And look, yes, everyone deserves love. Sure. But this is a little too freaky for me. It's a little too freaky. You know? Anal and conjoined twins. Too freaky. Too freaky. Anyway, one of the twins got married. Yes, let me say it again. One of the conjoined twins got married. This is a man named Josh Bowling, who's an Army vet and a nurse. He decided to marry one of the twins. Her name is Abby Hensel. And he is married to her. He has developed a loving relationship with her and has decided to make her his wife, while she, again, is a conjoined twin. Now, what I'm about to say may be limited in thought, may be limited in mindset, but I just feel like this is a crock of shit. I think he just has a fetish. I think what he fetishizes is, yes, they share the same body, but oh my gosh, it's two different heads. Who else could say they have this? Like, I feel like there's something about it that turns him on. And though he's marrying one of the twins, obviously he met the other one. Obviously he made a relationship with it. Like, what is the other one not, like, what is it? How does the other twin not have a relationship with this man? So the idea of him only marrying one of the twins while they are conjoined makes no sense. It really makes no sense at all. Anyway, the marriage took place in 2021. Apparently he was with someone else prior to this new marriage. He was married to someone else. He had children with this woman. And this woman has decided to file a paternity suit against him. It became all messy. Like, how you... I cannot. It's hard for me to grasp my head around it. I just feel like people who are I don't know. Let me not say that. Let me not. I'm gonna keep that to myself. God bless, child. God bless. But yeah, he is married to one of the twins and is looking deeply in her eyes as they're in this marriage photo that I'm looking at right now. He is on a vacation with that twin or taking another photo shoot with her while the other twin is just there smiling as well to just obviously be cohesive. It's just a weird time. And obviously this has been a thing for ever. Like, this is not the first set of conjoined twins. I mean, conjoined twins. Let's see. Because I feel like I saw there are other images of conjoined twins. How many conjoined twins are there? How many conjoined? Because I just want to understand, how does this happen? So they're popularly referred to as Siamese twins, which I feel like, isn't that a little racist? It's like, and this is the case because I'm like, how does this happen? So conjoined twins are two babies who are born physically connected to each other. Conjoined twins develop when an early embryo only partially separates to form two individuals. Although two babies develop from this embryo, they remain physically connected, most often at the chest, abdomen, or pelvis. So but my question is, how does one, like, did you eat too much lettuce? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what? What happened? What happened that led to this? I don't know. Yeah, proving world wrong. Yeah, I'm looking at another example of conjoined twins. These black girls, they're conjoined by the same way. So two heads, but they share a body. So there's only one set of arms and one set of legs, as it would be for a regular human being. But it says here, conjoined twins are rare, representing about 1 in every 500,000 live births in the UK in particular. So, okay, but what about in America? Around half are stillborn, with another third dying within 24 hours of birth. Now, here's a fun fact about me. This is what I was told. I don't know if I was told by a medical professional though, but this is what I was told. I think it's like legend. So for me, I was born with an extra finger attached to my pinky finger. And I have the like extra skin on my finger, like on my pinky finger, as a remembrance. Like, okay, this is hereditary. My mom has the same thing, as well as one of my brothers. And a cousin of mine has the same thing. So it's literally in my family. The myth is that the old wives' tale is that I had a twin and I overpowered that twin at some point in my mom's womb, or I ate that twin, something like that. Basically, I'm the survivor. Hello? I am the survivor. I had to let that twin know we're not going to be conjoined. And that's that. So that's the legend. Who knows if that's true? I like to run with it because it's a funny story. But yeah, I think, you know, when you have these like freak, oh my God, I'm sorry, not to be rude, but these like freak accidents or these freaky, like bizarre human stories, I don't know if I want my teacher to be conjoined. I don't know if I would feel comfortable employing someone conjoined. I know that's discrimination, but I just feel like, like I'm over here stretching my neck, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if a whole nother head was right? I don't know. Am I a horrible person? No, I'm just saying it's a little freaky, and I think something's off here. Like, what happened? You know, what happened? Did you eat too much lettuce? What's going on? Because you know how in India, a lot of, maybe not all, but it is a rampant situation of Indian men having small penises, like very short penises. And that is due to some type of just a imbalance in their hormones. There's something, and I don't want to look it up right now. I'm at work, yo. Oh wait, I think I have my VPN on. Hold on. I think I have, okay. But because I'm connected to, I'm wondering though if I'm still connected to, no, I think I should be fine. Because I'm thinking out loud. Okay, hold on. Let me look it up. I think I'll be fine. Indian penis small epidemic. Someone says here, Indian men don't measure up. But there was something that I read a while ago that explained why Indian men have small penises. It's due to a imbalance and a hormonal imbalance. It's due to that, and how that's because of the food that they eat. There's something to it. Oh my God, I'm trying to find it real quick. It's kind of hard for me to find right now, but I saw it somewhere and I was like, wow. Oh wait, is it that? Okay, Coro. I don't know if it's that, but okay. Coro is a disease though. So all of them got a disease. Coro is a cultural bound delusional disorder in which individuals have an overpowering belief that their sex organs are retracting and will okay. That's not what I'm talking about. It's also known as shrinking penis. That's not what I mean, but this is interesting too. I'll look into that later. But nonetheless, a lot of Indian men have small dicks, okay? And that's just is what it is. And it's due to a hormonal imbalance given by the foods that is prevalent in there, like in India. I think there's a lack of testosterone. There's something that's missing that creates a hormonal imbalance. And anyway, I see all this is, why did I bring that up? I forget, but the point is, you have these imbalances, you have these like moments of just like unevenness. Like what is that? Like, what is that? Oh yeah, I bring that up to say, how does that come about? What did they eat too much of? Or what did they eat too little of? What is lacking in someone's diet to result a human like this? That is a freak. That is a freak show. And that's just very odd to me. I just want to understand, but God bless, they're living full lives. We all deserve love. But I do wonder, is that incest? Is that incest? Because you got, child, God bless. Anyway. All right, let's get into why Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law, Angela Chow, had an unfortunate car accident that led to her death. So Mitch McConnell is a senator, a U.S. senator. We all know him as the one who is the crying bandit. Right? He's the one that's always crying. Let me look at it real quick. Is he the one that's always crying? No. He's not the one that's always crying. But he's the one that, there's been several videos of him just like stopping midway and just looking like he's fading out, like his eyes gone black and just looks totally out of it. Now, there are times when I speak though, and I just like forget what I'm about to say. And I would literally pause, but not as long as he has in these videos. So look, I have some sympathy. Sometimes I do have like a brain fart. But nonetheless, he is an interesting character. Okay. So he has a sister-in-law. Her name is Angela Chow. And she recently passed, like literally recently, a few days ago, from a freak accident. It's been said here in this article that she was heavily intoxicated. She got in her car and she drove into a pond and was unable to unlock herself from that car door and drowned and died. The car that she was in is a Tesla. Now, the conspiracy is, was she really intoxicated? Was this just a report that was given to make it seem like it was her fault? Or Like it was her fault, when in actuality it could have been something where the Tesla, being that she's driving a Tesla, it's a very smart car, the Tesla purposely locked her in. This probably was pre-manufactured by someone in higher standings and saw her as a threat to something and decided to get rid of her like that. Who knows? But I'm wondering, how does a Tesla lock you in? Now, when you have these robots, when you have these like AI creations and these very advanced technological features, there is a dangerous boundary that sometimes could get crossed when not used properly, or when used to be overpowering than humans. I remember being in a Tesla. When did I go to the Beyonce concert? Was it last year? But yeah, the Beyonce concert that just happened, the Renaissance one, I went in a Tesla car with a few of my friends. One of them wasn't my friend, it was a friend of a friend. And I mean, I met her the first time there, whatever, cool. It was her car. And she ended up like having a moment afterwards, and we had to like take over. I don't get too much detail about it, but we had to take over this moment, and we had to figure out how to get in the Tesla car. We didn't know how to. Neither of us knew how to. So we're literally looking up on YouTube how to open a Tesla door. Okay? So I say all this to say, these cars aren't as like, I guess, dumbified for us mere humans. Like, why you need a freaking computer of a car? Like, what is the big deal? Look, I like a nice technological feature like the rest, like the next person. But when it becomes too ridiculous, especially when you're new to it, I just feel like it's a turn off, honestly. Anyway, so she ended up, we ended up figuring it out and learning how to open the door. I didn't want to drive the car because I was really nervous about, like, I don't know, this. I felt like I was driving a beast, like a whole other person with sentient feelings and, a sentient being. And I was not comfortable driving it. So my other friend ended up driving us safely back to where we were. So that worked out. But nonetheless, I'm assuming Angela Chow purchased this car like a while ago. Whether that was 6 months ago or a few weeks ago, nonetheless, she has had practice driving this car, using this car. So it wasn't like she doesn't know how to open the door. It was that the car door wouldn't open for her. Like, she was locked in. So I'm wondering, how do Teslas do that? And why are they doing that if that's the case? And was there like a button that she needs to press in order to get out the car door, in order to get out the car? I don't know. Like, all these questions arise. It's just very peculiar because she is attached to Mitch McConnell, and maybe she wasn't directly someone who was a threat to a conglomerate, but maybe she was used as a pawn to get at Mitch McConnell or just send a message. But yeah, cute girl, cute woman, rest in peace to her. She was the CEO and chair of Foremost Group, which is a group that I'm not familiar. Let me look that up. What is a Foremost Group about? I'm assuming, it's a shipping company. Yes. Okay. So she was the CEO and chair of a shipping company called Foremost Group. And yeah, she has recently passed away. And this took place in Texas. And it's all unfortunate, very unfortunate. Oh, another little creepy moment was she ended up calling a friend of hers because she was leaving a gathering. That's where she was coming from. She was leaving a gathering, and she ended up calling a friend and told a friend calmly that she had gone in her car, that she went in her car and her car had gone into a pond and she was trapped inside. And she said this very calmly. The conversation lasted 8 minutes as the car slowly sank. Now, I don't know why she was so calm. Maybe she's just a calm-natured person. But that is terrifying. I don't know if her friend who was on the receiving end of this conversation, I don't know if her friend was in disbelief, didn't take it seriously, whatever the case was. But like, did they not care to drive over there real quick and say, hey, do this, do that? I don't know. I'm not trying to blame anyone but Tesla. Okay. And this actually was 40 miles west of Austin. This is actually near Johnson City. So I'm gonna ask Freckles Bay if he's familiar with that area, and we'll do some investigation. Date night. We like this type of stuff. We're so corny, but I love it. But yeah, rest in peace. This is very unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear about her passing, and I wish her well, and her family well. I wish her well. She's gone, but God bless, child. God bless. All right, ladies and gents, thank you so much for listening, and I will check in with you all next time. Peace.